Hi everybody, my name is David. Welcome to the channel. I've just rebranded it to become the Democratizing XR channel, and I wanted to give you a little introduction video to it. So the channel is primarily going to be about bringing public awareness to things that you can do with augmented and virtual reality. That's the sort of snapshot of it. The thinking behind it is really based on my experience as a person. So I've worked for about 20 years in the 3D CAD software industry, so making software for designing oil rigs, like you can see in the banner image at the moment, ships, and I've lived in a world where my digital experience has primarily been with three-dimensional digital spaces or things like the oil rig you can see there. I think today most of us have a digital experience, or we have digital experiences with effectively digital versions of documents. So it could be a web page, it could be a video on YouTube, it could be, of course, an Excel sheet, a PowerPoint, or whatever it is. And that's what most of us treat as a digital experience today. There are, of course, sub-segments of society. So there are people who work with 3D CAD, and their digital experience is primarily with a 3D object on the screen. Then, of course, there's a fairly large segment of society these days, gamers, which I belong to as well, which are interacting with, in some cases, it's a 2D scene, so you still do have two-dimensional games. But in most cases, most games these days are three-dimensional, where you are interacting with a world, other players, objects in that world, primarily through the two-dimensional screen. And that's a digital experience for many of us today, whether it's through a console or PC. And I think what's going to change for the more sort of general public, the non-gamers, the general public, you could say, is that our digital experiences will start to shift from being interactions with digital documents or videos in many cases, to interactions with digital spaces, and also, if you like, avatars, people represented in those digital spaces, or of course, bringing those digital spaces and digital objects into the real world in a augmented reality mode. So you've got augmented reality mode, bringing those objects into the real world. You've got interaction with digital spaces through a two-dimensional screen, so computer gaming, that kind of thing. And then you've got interaction where you are inside the digital space in virtual reality using a headset, experiencing the digital space, the digital objects, and perhaps the digital people from that immersive point of view. So that's the kind of paradigm shift that I see changing, that will gradually start experiencing digital in a much more immersive way. A little bit more about how I use the technology today. So at the moment, I only have this one headset. So it's a Meta Quest 2. It's a $300 and maybe €400 headset, which you can buy from Meta, or formerly known as Facebook, of course. And it's really gone a long way to make virtual reality accessible. So it's a standalone device, has a computing power inside the screens in front of you, inside the headset. I get a huge value from this personally. I use it for creativity. So I do things in Gravity Sketch, in Archeo, in Shapes XR. So I'm creating things in there, using it for work in that sense. I use it for fitness, so I do a lot of cycling in there. I put it on and I cycle through Google Street View images, which gives me the impression that I'm in New Zealand at the moment. I use it for watching videos sometimes, so you can be in an immersive Netflix theater where you have a huge screen in front of you. Use that in a hotel, for example. I use it for virtual travel, so I'm using an app called World or Wonder, where you can travel and see the world as a 3D model or through 360 images. With other people. And what else I use it for? Of course, I use it for some engineering and design scenarios for my work, looking at ships, looking at oil rigs. I use it for fun, of course. So I play games on that device, but also games on my PC. So I get a huge value from that 300 or 400 euro device. But I know from experience that most people who've bought one of these devices, they're not getting that level of value from it. So they buy it, they play a few games, and then maybe they feel ill from it, which is one of the side effects of VR, unfortunately, today. And then they put it down. Or so in most cases, people buy it for games and they just don't use it anymore. So this channel is about showing people what you can use this device for and how you can use some of the free applications out there to do much more with your device. And hopefully that will show people how to get more from this device, or it might inspire you to buy one of these devices yourself. That's all from now for my introduction. Hope you enjoy the channel and look forward to your feedback and comments. Bye-bye.